Now let me introduce to you the president of our board, Mr. Tim Davis.
All right. Hey, so first of all, I know you guys have busy and other places to be. It's really honoring to have you here. It's a pretty momentous occasion for us, so thank you so much. The idea here is I'm going to thank some of the key people that have brought us along. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what Valor is. I'm going to tell you how we end up in this building, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're going to do with it. So I'll try to accomplish that in about 15, 16 minutes or so. And then we'll be available to answer questions or whatever later. So first of all, I want to thank Jesus Christ for his power to revolutionize and revitalize a life, because I'm just a testimony of that. So, secondly, I want to thank Bruce and Linda Stefanik, who are the senior pastors at Church on the Hill. Bruce's influence and mentorship in my life has meant the world to me. I'd step in front of a train for that guy today without even needing to think about it. And, as an organization, Valor wouldn't be here without him and Jason's leadership and them allowing me to spend some time in the community and develop relationships and what ends up turning into this thing. And so I'm grateful. Dick and Gail with Nell have been totally instrumental. Of course, you guys know, not just in this facility, right? A lot of things wouldn't be happening. The UGM, the Y, CASA, all these wonderful nonprofit organizations, and Dick and Gail give tirelessly of their time. I appreciate that. I appreciate his investment, from a leadership perspective in my life, and I wouldn't be there without it. Pioneer Trust Bank. So Randy Compton is here. Pioneer Trust Bank has helped make this thing happen for us. And many of the buildings in this city wouldn't be here without Pioneer, which allows all these other wonderful missions and nonprofit organizations to impact our city. But it all takes funding and great financial leadership, and that's what those guys do for our community. Randy doesn't know I'm going to say this, but here's kind of how it briefly happened. I heard that this building was going to be for sale, and Dick had said, hey, blah, 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 I drove away, and I'm like, yeah, I don't got $2 million. And I kept driving, and I couldn't let it go. And a few weeks went by, and I'm like, yeah, I still don't have $2 million. So a couple months went by, and I'm at a meeting one morning, and somebody says, hey, what's new with Valor Mentoring? And I said, well, we're doing this, and we're branching into foster care and some other stuff. I said, but my really big dream would be to buy Town and Country Lanes and turn it into a community center. And this person, who's a commercial developer in town, said, well, how much do they want for it? I'm like, I don't know. He said, well, don't you think you should ask? So, yeah, wisdom, right? I've been running around for 2 months and haven't even had the guts of the idea to go ask. And so, but I really felt like I was supposed to do that. And so I came in on a Monday morning. That was on a Sunday. Monday morning I come in, maybe it was midday, and I said, hey, is Don here? And Don comes out, and Don knew me a little bit from some community stuff, but I said, he goes, hey, don't you have something to do with Valor Mentoring? And I said, actually, I'm the founder and the president. And he goes, oh my gosh. He goes, I just got chills all over my body. He goes, you want to buy the place? True story. So I'm like, I do. He goes, let's sit down and have coffee. And so conversations went from there to us getting together with Don and Ann and getting to the position where we are today through their incredible leadership. Many of you know they're sacrificially selling this at a deeply reduced rate, what they could have got from somebody else. I think Dick would have bought it a few years ago and made it a Dodge dealership. Yeah, and so their leadership in our community is relentless. Think about this. I'm 54 years old. My entire life, from the day I was born, Don and Ann have been here in Town and Country serving Keizer every day for 54 years, right? So it's always easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. And that's actually not very theologically sound, but that's what we're going with this morning, because Ann would never have agreed to this, but she's here, so what's she going to do? Don and Ann, if you guys would come forward.
There you go.
And Dick with Nell's infinite wisdom, and these guys continue to serve the community. We've got a couple of gifts for you guys. Yeah. I told you didn't have to do this, but here's the thing, you can blame Dick, because it was Dick's idea. So yeah, if you guys could slide in here, and we can take a couple of pictures, and you guys can take this with you. This is one of the newspaper articles that, if you haven't read it, it's an incredible story of these guys and what they've done. So, Don, if you want to hold that, there's one other thing. Because Dick always has good, firm, straightforward advice. And he says, for all the old fogies who are retiring, it doesn't mean that we're done. And so this plaque represents that. It says, no, God is not done, through Don and Ann Liebold. And this is from Dick and Gail with Nell for you guys. So, yeah. Can we get these guys a round of applause? Yeah. God bless you. No speaking parts today, Gail. Ann. All right. Hey, for those of you who know nonprofits, the backbone and the weight and the spiritual weight of all that comes from a solid board that's committed deeply to doing what you're doing. And that also comes with them giving money and time and all that. And so I just want to acknowledge our board. I know that some of them are sitting and standing, but Sven Anderson, Buddy Puckett, Tom Greenwood, Matt Roy, Bill King, Jeremy Schwab, Gabe Johansson, and Kevin Dahle. Could you guys give those guys a round of applause? Those guys have the opportunity, that's a positive word, to try to keep up with my visions, and for those of you guys who know me, I'm a little ball of energy with a lot of ideas. And so they help me keep me grounded, but also God just keeps moving us forward, bigger and bigger chunks. And so I'm a guy who just wants to wade out of deep water and trust. So, yeah, thank you so much for the board. We've got a small staff at this point. Dave Morris, who runs our MMA, which we call Music, Media, and the Arts. And he's not here today because he's working, but that guy put in the first $25,000 worth of studio equipment for our studio downtown and serves tirelessly for us to help move us forward in that arena. Chris Hahn, who heads up a whole bunch of stuff for us, currently operations and media and so on. Dickie is on camera. Amber Parker helps with some administrative stuff. Curtis Critton is right here in the suit. He's overdressed for the bowling alley, but he's our new general manager for the facility, so we're excited to have that. On the bowling side, there's folks that have been here a long time. Elaine, who's been working in the cafe for 40 years. Before that, her mom ran the cafe. And so what a heritage that we're investing in and we're going to pull forward in this community, right? All the employees are staying on, at least at this point. And so we're excited about that. There's others, there's Billy and Sam and a whole host of other people. So, as a nonprofit, we went from 3 employees to 18 overnight. So, yeah, there's a learning curve, and that's all Curtis's responsibility. So, yeah. Along with what our legal board is, we have an advisory team, and I just want to acknowledge those people. We get together quarterly with them, and they help us to come up with ideas on how to do this stuff, how to market ourselves better, how to get our word out, and then even developing our programs and training and accountability and all that. So Carrie Mayhew, Darren Millionis, Jim Howell, Frank Smith, Michael Couch, Rick Russell, Lori Klein, Ronnie Brooks, and Ralph Diorio. Yeah, thank you for all you do. There's a few what I'd call key Valor influencers that maybe aren't on the board currently, but have been a part of this from the beginning and have done some real groundbreaking work for us. Terry Markey, I know you're here. Mike Castronovo, Glenn Colangelo, and then Sam Skillern from SLF has been a constant resource for us as an organization, for me personally, in leadership development, and I'm grateful for our partnership with SLF. I know I thought there's a couple of city council members, and if there's other dignitaries here who you were voted in to hold those offices, thank you so much for serving our community in that way. Can we get them a round of applause? So what is Valor and how we got here? 5 years ago, a few of us were sitting at a coffee shop, as we have for maybe 15 years, and we really felt like there was more for us to do. We read a book by Bob Buford called Halftime. Essentially, that book says that, again, I'm stereotyping, but in your 20s and 30s, you're getting a job, you're getting raises, you're getting the advancement, you're having kids, you're getting married and moving. And most of your action is forward. But the concept of the book is by your 40s, 50s, and 60s, more of your energy should be sent back down. We've acquired some wisdom, maybe some resource and other things. And that really shifted our thinking. Although each of us were naturally mentoring and had been for many, many years, we were at different nonprofit fundraisers and serving on different boards and watching these wonderfully made videos, and we realized that virtually every one of those videos led back to where a man had led poorly, a man was absent, abusive, and other things. And so we looked around the table and it's our fault. And so we're like, what can we do about that? And so the idea was, what if we began to find a way to duplicate our mentoring efforts? And so that's the essence of how we got started 5 years ago from an idea, and that's about all we had. We started having lunch with some guys and started taking in information, and the next thing you know, we've got a 501c3 and employees and partnerships such as Salem Keizer Public Schools, the state of Oregon, DHS, the juvenile system, Star Court, Nike. Lots of things are happening for us. We're in development of an app in partnership with Microsoft that allow our mentors to take their training available both live and on their phones. It allow them to sign mandatory reporting documents and stay up to date on things, as well as log things to do with their hours. And so we're grateful. We've got some really sharp people. We got people who are top 50 at Nike and Boeing and Intel and other people. I just keep pulling people that are far smarter than me together. That bar may be fairly low, but nonetheless, most people are more intellectually gifted than I am. But I've just got this passion, and I'm excited, and God just keeps moving us forward. So flash forward now, where we're continuing to partner and have conversations both with all those different organizations you're talking about. The line is endless for mentees. We have a waiting list that we can't even keep up with. So our key is to continue to recruit and educate and train and maintain more mentors. So we have a few initiatives with other organizations this year that should allow us to add about 125 mentors this year. So we're excited for that. This will be a place, as it has been, for families to reconnect with their kids, for young people to have a safe, dry, warm place to come, for our after-school programs that we'll be adding into this. There's a bus stop just a half a block away, so they can jump on the bus if they're a middle school or high schooler and be down here after school and hanging out. So with that, the vision for this is we mentor through mentoring, one-on-one and group mentoring. We mentor through music, media, and the arts, and some people are like, what does music and media have to do with mentoring? And I'm like, well, we may wish that morality drove the culture in America or the church or whatever that is, but it's music and media, folks. It rules our culture, and so our philosophy is that if you're a young person, young adult, middle age, whatever that is, you want to do media, you first should learn how to do it really well and do it with a positive message. And so that's what we're doing. And it's one of the most diverse groups we have in our studios, which currently live at the basement of First Presbyterian Church, that we'll be moving that and all of our other programs and offices here to this facility, and then continue to move that forward. And then we do it through Valor Serve. So we do different service projects. This summer we went in for the teen homeless shelter, and we put in new flooring and built custom cabinets and countertops and paint, and that's just a day facility. We bum rush in there with a bunch of guys and mentees and do a whirlwind for a day or so, and then poof, we're gone, right? But it models to our mentees that we should be serving our community, irregardless of where you are in your faith. You should be serving your community and giving back. And so those are the main philosophies that we have to do. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit briefly about what we're going to do at the building. So Tom, if you guys could turn this around. So we have a recording studio and video production studio downtown. The lottery, video poker used to be right there in that room, and this is what we're replacing the lottery with. So a state-of-the-art recording studio, and that's just one room of the studio. If you look over here, that lower left, that's the image that you see there. But behind that is two more control rooms, education rooms, a video production and podcast studios. All will go in there. So everything below, even behind the front counter, is all going to be different types of studios. And young people can come and learn. We have a video production and audio production program that they can learn how to produce and record, all that stuff, and that's all free. We don't charge anything for any of it. Last year we gave away $115,000 worth of free studio time and training and scholarships. We gave away we partnered and gave away 3 college scholarships last year. And for those of you who don't know, there's a strong college scholarship program with the Bowling Association. So get the word out. Your elementary kid, every time he comes in here, could be earning about $1 something towards college. And they get to graduation, you get a check. And that might be $1,000, $2,000, but it's money. It buys you books for a semester or 2. And so we want to continue to get the word out and expand that program. We've got a chunk of money in that pool to give away. So spread the word on that. We're excited.
Yep.